ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। Yeah, Girish, go ahead. We were doing verse number 37, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah, 37. So let's chant from 32. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञाः वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे श्रेयान् द्रव्यमयाद्यज्ञात् ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपदेक्षन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
उपदेक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानम्
ज्ञानिनस्तत्त्वदर्शिनः
ज्ञानिनः स्वस्तदर्शिनः
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम्
यज्ञात्वा न पुनर्मोहम्
एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव
एवं यास्यसि पाण्डव
येन भूतान्यशेषेण
येन भूतान्यशेषेण
द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यथो मयि
द्रक्ष्यस्यात्मन्यतो मयि
अपि चेदसि पापेभ्यः
अपि चेतसि पापेभ्यः
सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः
सर्वेभ्यः पापकृत्तमः
सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव
सर्वं ज्ञानप्लवेनैव
वृजिनं सन्तरिष्यसि
वृजिनं संतरिष्यसि
यथैधांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः
यदैतांसि समिद्धोऽग्निः
भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन
भस्मसात् कुरुतेऽर्जुन
ज्ञानाग्निः सर्वकर्माणि
ज्ञानाग्नि सर्वकर्माणि
भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा
भस्मसात् कुरुते तथा
So we were looking at verse number 37 in the last class. 35 onwards, Krishna was telling the benefits of this knowledge. Benefits. Always when they do projects, they do a cost benefit analysis, Those people who have worked in companies, they know this very well. And even at home, we do cost benefit analysis. So do you need something or not? Or if you need it, what is the right price to pay? Where should you go and buy it? All this charcha keeps happening all the time. So here also Krishna says, we people are all these cost focused people and matlabi people. And so I should also tell them, okay, what is the use of all this? Studying day after day after day. And then. So in 35, he said, what did he say? Yad jnatva. Having known this, what do you get? Punar moham na yasyasi. Punar moham na yasyasi. So you will not ever be confused anymore. And you may be confused about various other things. You may not know how a aircraft takes off. That's okay. So that is not going to help you much. But the things that really matter to you, you will never be confused about. And then second line of that verse 35, Yena bhutani asheshena drakshasi atmani. So you will see all beings in you and you will see all beings in me. That means what? That means there is Jiveshwara Aikyam. So there is that Aikya Jnanam that was mentioned. And what do you get from that? Of course, then there is no fear anymore. Why fear? So udaram antaram kurute athatasya bhayam bhavati. The minute I create a division, even a slight division between me and the world, a slight division between me and Bhagavan, Ishvara, that's it. That slight division is enough for fear to creep in. Fear to creep in. Taittiriya Upanishad says that. Therefore, this Jiveshwara Aikyam is so important for us. And then what? Then 36, he talked about Sarva Papa Nashaha, right? So, Sarvam Vrijinam Santarishyasi. Vrijinam is Papam. So, there's no more going to be any Papam for you, regardless of how much Papam is accumulated in my account. Okay. Then what? Here, 37. We are now in 37. He's giving an example. Yatha tatha, yatha edhamsi. So we broke this shloka, the words of the shloka last time. Yatha edhamsi samiddaha agnihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna. Okay, that's how it is split. So he's giving an example. Yatha, just as fire agnihi, samiddaha agnihi, uh, edhamsi bhasmasat kurute. Just like fire, a big fire just consumes the wood, edhamsi, consumes wood, leaving nothing useful. So bhasmasat, leaving only ashes behind. Ashes are generally not useful. Except for people like us, we put all these pattais on our head. We all keep pouring all this ash on our body. So for us, it's useful, but generally, otherwise, it's not useful. You can't put it in. You can't. Nobody has a box of vibhuti in their kitchen. So nobody has that. So far, I've not seen. I've never seen a recipe where they said add 2 pinches of vibhuti in your rasam. Like that, I've not heard so far. So unless somebody comes up with that, so they won't do that because it's too sacred. And so, so therefore, he's giving that example and he's saying, Tatha, Tatha. Likewise, this Jnanagnihi, this fire of knowledge, don't think it's ordinary, it's like fire. And what does this fire do? Sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. Same word he is repeating. Bhasmasat kurute, bhasmasat kurute. And sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute. And we saw this earlier. It's not new anymore, this concept. So in shloka number 19 also we saw yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahuhu panditam buddhaha. We saw that earlier. And so that burns all karma. How it can burn all karma? There is no burning happening here. Literally, there is no burning happening. But when the karta is negated, the doer is negated, then all karma that was done in the past and that is going to happen in the future are all negated. Negated, cognitively gone, negated. Just like when you go to school and you thought the sun was revolving around the earth, uh, and then you go through this lesson for 1 hour and the teacher draws the diagram of the solar system and all these movements are going on and rotation and this and that, and then you come home running and you tell your parents, mom, dad, this is, you don't know, the sun does not move, the sun does not rise at all. Like that's the kind of knowledge that we get here. That is how this jnana agnihi burns all karma. Okay. And he uses a word samiddaha agnihi. Samiddaha. So samyag ittaha. So in that example, a small flame, it's just burning, it's very small, and it is it's wavering. The small flame will waver, shakes constantly. A little bit of wind is there, a flow of air, little, just a little bit, that is enough to extinguish that fire. That fire cannot do anything. It can't do any harm. It can't burn anything. It has no capacity to burn. And that's what Bhartrihari says. Bhartrihari says in his Niti Shatakam, he says this flame, small flame is very weak, and it can easily, the wind will just extinguish that flame. But if the flame becomes big enough, then what happens? The wind will become a catalyst. The wind will go along with the flame. The flame says, come on, let's go. Wind says, come on, let's go. Let's go to the next house. So like that it says. And so then the wind and flame, they become friends. Previously, the wind was the enemy of the flame. Now they are friends. So this is how. So he says the weak are always bullied. People who are weak, we go bully them. Just go tell them you should do that, you should not do that. Who are you? This, that, and so they say, oh yeah, yeah, okay, okay, I'll do that. So strong people means we go along with them. We want their help also, and so we salute them and then we go along with them. We do whatever they say, and this is how it works. So bully the weak, parley the strong, or parley with the strong. There is some statement like that. So here that's why he's saying Samiddaha Agni. He's saying a fully a, a conflagration, a flame that's really burning, and anything you put into it anymore, it will just consume. That kind of fire, that kind of fire, and so so that small flame has to become a big flame. That is why when we are studying also Vedanta initially we don't get into any arguments and all that because we don't know much. We are just studying. We're beginning to study. We're beginning to understand what is all this, what is karma, what is bandha, what is moksha, what is purushartha. All these are beginning to understand. So at that point we cannot sit and argue with people about Vedanta and all. So just stay quietly, nourish that flame, nourish that flame. And otherwise what will happen? That's why initially in initial stages people might say, what is this, you're studying Gita, and you have so many duties to do, you have so many things to do, and you're wasting time sitting in the morning 1 hour. What is this, then when we're initial stages we can't defend that argument, and because they will tell you so many excuses why you should not be doing it, and you can't, you can't say anything. And so just keep it to yourself. You just have to nourish the flame. That's how uh, all our things that we really love, we have to carefully nourish those pursuits. Same thing here also. So here also Samiddaha Agni. Only a Samiddaha Agni can burn wood and convert it into ashes. Otherwise, some agarbatti will be there, like this small flame. That agarbatti it can happen. But here Samiddaha Agnihi, and so it burns all karma. We now know the types of karma that it will burn. Sanchita karma, past karma is gone because the person who gained all that karma doesn't exist. As a karta doesn't exist. The ownership is gone. Ownership is completely gone. And karta is burnt away. Therefore, past sanchita karma is gone. Then agami karma, the karma that is about to happen, is also gone because no karma can be gained. The kartritvam is gone, doership is gone, therefore no new karma. And then prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means the karma that is already fructified in the form of this body, and that body will continue. It will not extinguish. It will be there very much, and the Ishvara's niyati will take care of that body, and whatever the person does, the person will do, and so that prarabdha karma continues. And even for a jnani, even for a jnani, of course for everybody else it will continue, but for a jnani also it continues. No, jnani has no control over how long the person lives. Even a jnani cannot control all that, and that prarabdha karma will get exhausted when the body falls. So so here karma is gone. So in 35, what did he say? Or 36, I think. 36 also he said sarvam vrijinam santarishyasi, he said. So there also he says papa is gone. Here also he say karma is bhasmasat kurute. What is the difference? Well, there papa karma, here punya karma also. The punya karma that I worked so hard for to accumulate, and that also gets burnt here. And punyam papam, both are equally extinguished by this fire of knowledge. Okay. And so that is the beauty of this knowledge. And punyam also, Swami Paramarthananda says, he says punyam, what is the difference between punyam and papam? He says papam means it gives you unpleasant experiences now. Papam gives unpleasant experiences. What about punyam? Punyam gives you unpleasant experiences later. Hey, what is this? Punyam gives unpleasant experience. I thought punyam is great, and I want more and more punyam. Yeah, punyam postpones all these unpleasant experiences. It postpones and he gives the example. So he says people go to America and then come back. They come to Chennai. Chennai in summer, that too summer vacation. I don't know why they come to Chennai in summer. They can come some other time, but they choose to come in May. In May, we say there is Agni Nakshatram. Agni Nakshatram means the sun decides to show his form, and I want to show my real form, Swarupa. And then they come, and previously, I mean, it's hot and people somehow manage. And here, even if they come in December, they will say, my God, it's so hot here. It's hot. It's very hot. Etc. etc. They keep saying all these things. And so what happened? The punyam that was gained, that took them to America, it is giving them more pain now. The same heat is there, the same India, the same pollution is there here. And so previously we ignored all these things. Now it has become very hot. And so punyam is there. And then punyam can also be a source of problem. Like that he says. So Vasmasat Kurute Tatha. This Jnana Agni. So let's translate this shloka. Just as a well lighted fire, yatha samiddaha agnihi. Just as a well lighted fire reduces wood to ashes. Reduces wood to ashes. Edhamsi bhasmasat kurute. Edhamsi bhasmasat kurute. Yatha. Okay. So too, tatha. Hey Arjuna, the fire of knowledge, jnana agnihi, reduces all actions, sarva karmani, to ashes. Bhasmasat kurute. Reduces all actions. All actions means what? Actions keep on happening, but their results are also visible. So food is being consumed, hunger is propitiated, hunger is satisfied. All these things happen, but nothing sticks. Nothing sticks. This punyam and papam cease completely. Punyam and papam, which are karma phalam. So when we say actions are burnt, we also mean results of those actions are gone, completely gone. So here, actions within brackets, you can say results of actions. Okay, Surendra. We go to the next shloka number 38. So if you want me to read this once again, just as a well-lighted fire reduces wood to ashes, comma, so too, comma, Arjuna, the fire of knowledge reduces all actions, namely results of actions, to ashes. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. I think it got muted again. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
Nahi jnanena
Nahi jnanena
sadrisham
sadrusham
pavitramiha
pavitramiha
vidyate
vidyate
tatsvayam
tatsvayam
yoga samsiddhaha
yoga samsiddhaha
kalenatmani
कालेनात्मनि
Vindati.
विन्दति
Nahi jnanena sadrisham.
न हि ज्ञानेन सदृशम्
Pavitramiha vidyate.
पवित्रमिह विद्यते
Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha.
तत्स्वयं योगसंसिद्धः
Kalenatmani vindati.
कालेनात्मनि विन्दति.
So it's a beautiful shloka. It's also quoted quite often. Nahi jnanena sadrisham. So if you go to the website of Arsha Vidya Gurukulam, then the motto, the tagline of the ashram is Nahi jnanena sadrisham. Like that they say. There is nothing equivalent to knowledge. Pavitram, there is nothing that purifies as much as knowledge, as well as knowledge. That's the idea here. So knowledge is praised here, and then he is going to say what is the result, what is the benefit of that knowledge also. He's going to, or how you get sadhana. So now what he's going to talk from 38 onwards, a couple of 3 shlokas, he's going to talk about the means to gain that knowledge. Earlier also he talked tadvidhi pranipatena, but now he's going to mention again what is that means to, additional means to get that knowledge. Pavitram iha vidyate. Pavitram. Pavitram means sacred. Sometimes it means the word sacred. And pavakaha, here it means purifying. Something that clarifies, purifies completely. So nothing, there is nothing that purifies as well as knowledge. Nahi jnanena sadrisham. Sadrisham, equivalent to, equivalent to. So for Sanskrit students, this sadrisham governs third case. Third case. So equal, nothing is better than this. If we say, nobody sings like Gita. Gitaya sadrisham kopi nagayat. Nobody sings like it. So that Gitaya, third case will come. Okay. So we have various things that we do, and we do puja, we do parayanam, we go to temples, we do tirtha yatra, we do Ganga Snanam. All these things are recommended for all of us. So during this pandemic, all this is forgotten, but they are all meant for us, for our own purity. Going to Tirupati and shaving off your head, and whether we are a lady or man or child, doesn't matter. Everybody comes home. Everybody comes home shining, and so it's a ritual. It's an important ritual. It does wonders to us. So all these things purify us. Purify us means they bring us closer to Bhagavan. They bring us closer to the Shastram. And these are all very much there. So Gita Mahatmyam. So there is a shlokam called Gita Mahatmyam which praises Gita. Just like we have this Gita Dhyanam, there is Gita Mahatmyam. So there, so Mala Nirmochanam Pumsam. Mala Nirmochanam Pumsam. Mala Nirmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam Dine Dine. Mala Nirmochanam. So for removing the physical impurities from the body, there is Jalasnanam Dine Dine. Every day we take a bath, we take a shower. Okay, that we all know. But then Sakrit Gitambasi Snanam. So Gita Ambasi. Gita Ambasi. Amba means water. So in the waters of Gita Snanam, when I take a bath in the waters of Bhagavad Gita, Sakrit always, then what happens? Samsara Mochanam. Samsara Nirmochanam. We say Samsara Mala Nashanam. So that Mala, again Mala is impurity. Mala is what we don't desire is called mala basically. That which we do not desire is cleaned up. Vimochanam, we get free of that. And samsara, malanashana. So sometimes what happens, this mala is there in the body. And instead of cleaning, then we put perfume and perfume, douse the body with perfume. And there is a perfume called samsara. Many of you have heard of that. There is a perfume called samsara. Okay, some of you have heard of it. So samsara. So I don't know whether that will work or not. But here he says samsara mala nashanam, he says. So therefore, so that is what is being mentioned here. So all these rituals are there and everything is useful. But then anadi avidya vasanaya, we talked about last time. This avidya vasana is there, anadi, which is beginningless, which has no beginning. And that can only be removed by knowledge. Okay. And prarthana is very important. Prarthana is what takes me closer to the Shastram, brings me a guru, a teacher, puts me in an ashram. Suddenly, without my knowledge, I find myself in an ashram or in a talk where Swamiji is talking. So all these things are a result of prayer, because without my asking, it came about. Therefore, it's a result of prayer, and that's very important. But then once that happens, then it's knowledge, the jnanam that does the job. Okay, so he says, okay, tat swayam yoga samsiddha. So this person is called a yoga samsiddha. Who is this person? The person who is ready for knowledge, ready for the Gita, the message of the Gita. That person is a yoga samsiddha. So the person is completely equipped and prepared himself herself. Yogena samsiddha. Prepared by yoga. Prepared by yoga means what? Initially, this hatha yoga. So a lot of all these exercise and love for the body. So one has to generally love the way we are. We are happy the way we are. This is a minimum requirement for studying Shastra. I am happy the way I am. Only then the message will ring true. Otherwise, if I hate myself, I hate my name, I hate my looks, I hate my birth, everything I hate, if I say, then we have serious problems and we need to work on those other problems. Okay. And so here, yoga samsiddha, yogena samsiddha, the person has done all the duties. Vihita karma, he or she has done. Okay. And then Panchamaha Yajna, done. Continuing to do constantly. So awareness of the entire universe is there. And so my duty is towards this family, towards the self, towards the society, and towards the environment, and towards the devatas, and towards the Veda. Everything is there. Everything is happening. Panchamaha Yajna is happening. And if you ask a yoga person, the person will say Ashtanga Yoga. Yeah, that is the Ashtanga Yoga. Yoga Samsiddha means one who understands Yama, Niyama, Adi, and who follows all that. Ashtanga Yoga. And in Vedanta, we will say, what will we say? We will say one who has Antakarana Shuddhi, one who is an Adhikari, one who is a Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha. Correct? Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampannaha. One who has that Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, and Mumukshutvam in almost full measure. Initially it is shaky, but slowly it grows, and I am ready for it. And so that kind of a person is called Yoga Samsiddha, Antakarana Shuddhiman. Like Buddhiman, one who has Buddhi is Buddhiman. Therefore, one who has Antakarana Shuddhi is Antakarana Shuddhiman. That person is being talked about here. One who is free, relatively free from the power of the Raga Dveshas. Okay. Such a person is being described here. So, Tat Swayam. Yoga Samsiddhaha Vindati. So, Yoga Samsiddhaha Vindati. Vindati means gains. that yogi, that karma yogi, that antakarana shuddhiman gains vindati. What does he gain? Tat. Tat means jnanam. Tat is napumsakam, refers to jnanam which is napumsakam, neutral. Okay, tat yoga samsiddha vindati. Swayam vindati. Swayam. And swayam means what? Just by exposing oneself to the knowledge, knowledge will be gained. Nothing else is needed. We don't need anything else. Just the clarity and the commitment is all that is needed. And then what he says, one more thing. Kalena atmani vindati. Kalena. Kalena. In time, in time, in time it's gained. In time. So sometimes we are all hooked to this idea that attending all these corporate courses and this and that, and so there is always a timeline. When I do a project now, and then I start, and then I keep going, and then after some time, 3 months, 6 months, whatever, big projects, 1 year, it has to finish. So there is a tangible result. And so how long I must do this question always comes. How long should I study the Bhagavad Gita? Well, it all depends. Nobody can give a specific answer because antakarana shuddhi is required. Nobody knows what kind of shuddhi I have, and therefore, and what else is there to do anyway in life? And let it take however long it takes. And there is no end to this. There's no limit to how much I want to study, and therefore let it happen as long as I have shraddha, and then things will start happening. And so we can't give a specific timeline. Therefore, he says, Kalena, in time it will happen. In time. And Swamiji says, if you say, how long, if you're making some puliyodare or some kadi or something like that, then he can ask, how long should I boil the milk or water? How long should I keep doing this? Some of these things you have to stand in front of the stove and keep doing it. Rice is easy to cook because you put everything in the cooker, you turn it on and go away somewhere. And then it reminds you, it calls you, it calls you. But here you have to know how long I have to do. So how long, what temperature, and what else I have to add? All these questions can be asked when there is a tangible result, and then there is a particular recipe involved. Here the recipe is all it's spiritual, it's emotional, it's based on the self. It is talking about self growth and self awareness. And so the question of how long will not get us a very specific answer. Therefore, Kalena, Krishna just leaves it like that. Kalena, in time, it happens. And in any case, we saw that before. What did we see? Acharyat padam adatte. Correct? Acharyat padam adatte. Padam shishya swamedaya. Or what is it? Padam swabrahmachari. So quarter from the teacher, quarter from one's own effort, quarter from one's classmates, and then what is the padam kala kramena cha. Correct? So kala kramena. So in time things will happen. So there is no need for me to get anxious. That's why these exams and this and that system of tests and exams and so forth, it has a value, but we can't push it too much. And it requires a lot of sensitivity to see how far we go with that. And so Kalena, he says that here. And Kalena Atmani Vindati. Swami Paramarthanandaji says a joke here. And I was amazed to hear this from him. He says, in India, we have this exam called this CA, Chartered Accountant. To be a Chartered Accountant, you have to write an exam, like everything else. And this exam is not easy. How do you know it's not easy? Because we've seen many people who have written twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times. I know somebody who's written 16 times. Okay. And Swami says, somebody writes the exam the 27th time. And then he finds that he did not pass. So he comes out and then he's on the street and he sees a board. The board says, Jesus never fails. The board says what? Jesus never fails. And then he writes underneath that, Jesus did not write the CA exam. That is what he says. So, for Swami Paramarthanandaji to give this example, you have to understand the stress that Hindu society is in. Correct? Otherwise, why do we have to bring up all these examples? We generally are, Hindus are all very shy. They are shy. They don't talk about many things. And on top of that, talking about Christianity and Islam and all that, we don't do. But for Swami Paramarthanandaji to say it, it means that he felt it has to be said. And so Kalena, in time, in time, so that person, he has to try the exam the next time. But 27 times means I don't know how many times a year they conduct these exams. And even if they conduct it, 2 times or 3 times, right? So that's still a lot of time gone. So, okay, then he says, Kalena Atmani. Atmani. Atmani means in the mind. Here Atma refers to the mind. Here is an example where Atma does not mean Sachidananda Atma, it means mind. Buddha. So wherever the knowledge has to take place, in that place, which is called Buddhi or the mind. So let's translate this shloka. In this world, Iha, Iha, in this world, Iha, comma, there is indeed no purifier. Nahi pavitram. Nahi pavitram. There is indeed no purifier equivalent to knowledge. Jnanena sadrisham. Equivalent to knowledge. Full stop. In this world, there is indeed no purifier equivalent to knowledge. Full stop. One who has in time attained preparedness Swayam Yoga Samsiddhaha. So that's what interesting. So here Swamiji puts the Kalena to Yoga Samsiddhaha. One who has in time attained preparedness through Karma Yoga. Okay. Kalena Yoga Samsiddhaha Swayam naturally gains, within brackets, knowledge in the mind. Naturally gains knowledge in the mind. Knowledge is in brackets. Gains that. I think we should say that because there is a word tat. Tat refers to that. So here Swamiji is using the word Kalena also to here to mean in time the one who has gained that preparedness of mind. Okay. Because the idea is, look at this, the idea is when I am ready, nothing should stop me from gaining this knowledge. Okay. So Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. Yes, it has to be true. Knowledge has to take place. Period. Okay. Aham Brahmasmi. Knowledge has to take place. But if it doesn't take place, if there is some obstruction. That means I'm really not a yoga samsiddhaha. Therefore, we give the time to becoming that karma yoga, to becoming that uttamadhikari. Look at that. Correct? Because Krishna's claim is if I'm ready, I must know. If I don't know, if I don't know completely or clearly, then that means I have to prepare myself. That's the idea. So here Swamiji uses that word Kalena for Kalena Yoga Samsiddhaha. That's what is Swayam. Then later on Swayam Vindati. Swayam Vindati. He puts the Swayam to Vindati. And then Kalena to Yoga Samsiddhaha. It's a different way of interpreting. Good. Okay. You'll chant the next one, number 39. So Vijay, go ahead. Shraddhavan labhate
Shraddhavan labhate
jnanam
jnanam
tatparas samyatendriyah
tatparas samyatendriyah
jnanam labdhva param shantim
jnanam labdva param shantim
achirena dhigacchati.
achirenadhigacchati
Shraddhavan labhate jnanam
Shraddhavan labhate jnanam
tatparas samyatendriyah
tatparas sanyatendriyah
jnanam labdhva param shantim
jnanam labdva param shantim
achirena dhigacchati.
achirenadhigacchati.
So previous shloka jnanam was praised and then one sadhanam was given. What was the sadhanam? Yoga samsiddha. That word was mentioned. That means that yogaha is a sadhana. Broad word. Yoga is a very broad word, which is a sadhana. And Vedanta uses the word karma yogaha for that sadhanam. That means as a means for that jnanam, he mentioned that. Now, here he is going to give few more things that are needed for this knowledge to take place. Okay. So first he is saying Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Jnanam labhate. Jnanam labhate. Purushaha jnanam labhate. Yoga samsiddhaha jnanam labhate. Pulling that word from the previous loga, yoga samsiddhaha. Saha jnanam labhate. That person, that karma yogi gains knowledge. Okay. There are certain things that the person needs. What are those things? Shraddhavan. 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 So, like Balavan, Gunavan, etc. So, Shraddhavan, one who has Shraddha. One who has Shraddha. Very important. Uh, very important in this particular subject. Shraddha is needed in any knowledge, any pursuit that we are studying, any subject in any college or any other institute or anything else. Shraddha is needed. Even to sign up for a yoga course, we need Shraddha. We need a lot of Shraddha because I must first of all believe that this is good for me, and then I have to. Then there is a teacher that is there in front of me, and the teacher, maybe the person's accent is so different, I'm finding it a little difficult to follow. Then what do? Shraddha is there. No, I'm not following everything, but I think I understand what she's saying, and I am benefiting from it. I will benefit from it. Shraddha, correct? There's no proof. Nobody can give proof that after this course something will happen to you. Nothing, no proof is there. So Shraddha, that's Shraddha. That is called Shraddha. So, so if you go back to Tattva Bodha, there is a language he uses. What is the language? Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. Remember that conversation we had some year and a half, 2 years ago. So Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu Shraddha. So that means in the words of the teacher and in the words of the Shastram, I have complete belief, complete faith. But Shraddha does not mean faith, blind faith. It does not mean blind faith at all. It does not mean blind faith. How do you know? Because you see the dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. Arjuna is constantly asking questions. In blind faith, there is no question to ask. What question is there to ask? Tell me. In blind faith, somebody says something. Somebody says, if you follow me, I'll go. You will go to heaven. Okay. Can you ask him for proof? You can't ask for proof. You believe that person, and that's it. I believe you. That's it. Over. Nothing wrong or right in believing that person. That person believes. and no proof, you can't ask any proof. That is blind faith. Blind faith. We know it's blind because after that person, another person comes and says the same thing. That person is now, software, that's old software, iOS, and the latest iOS. Okay. Some 12 point something, 13 point something. That is, I am the latest. That's all old stuff. So therefore, we know this. That's all based on blind faith. There are certain things we can believe purely without getting evidence. You can believe. Nothing wrong with that. But here, Shraddha. Shrat dadhati. Shrat means moksha. Sat means truth. It gives you the truth. Therefore, you have Shraddha. It gives you moksha through the truth. Therefore, Shraddha. That word Shraddha itself has the meaning of what that word means. Shrat dadhati. And and here in this subject, a lot more Shraddha is needed. Because, Ma Kadav Satruma, because no tangible result. Okay. We're going on and on for months together, and sometimes there is no tangible result at all. And Swamiji says, we are all students, 3.5 years, we are sitting in the ashram. And he says, before you came to the ashram, your pocket was empty. Afterwards, also, your pocket will be empty. That's all. What can we do? Nothing. We can't promise anything also. So there also nothing. Kuch matlab hoga kya isse? So nothing tangible can be said also. It's all very subtle. And so here the journey is so very different. Here the journey is, I am a victim. This is my idea. I am a mortal. I am a victim. I am confused. I am finished. This is the idea I have. Okay. Will God accept me? Will I go to heaven? These are all the confusions people have. And so everything is, this is the kinds of confusion we have. And of course, I am the mortal is the greatest fear. And it's given and people accept it. So but this is how I lead my life. And therefore I'm depressed. This is it. This is it. From there, we have to go to the entirely different vision that Shastram is talking about. And Shastram is saying, no, it's not as simple as that. Yes, there is karma, there is punyam, there is papam. Yeah, you have done some papam. Yeah, you got to pay for it. No doubt about that. But then you have to be open to this idea that you are an akarta. You are an akarta. Not only that, Atma is not subject to mortality. What? Yeah, there is something called Atma, which is not the body. Really? The body is Atma, but Atma is not the body. Like the wave is water, but water is not the wave. Oh, really? Yes. That Atma you are not the body. Body will be mortal. Body cannot be made immortal. Correct. Body cannot be made immortal. Then who am I? That question, Shastram has answered to that. So it takes a lot of preparation. This journey is a little tricky. To come to this point is not easy. That is why we have to prayer and all that is so important. Because along the way there can be many problems. And so that Shraddha is so important. And this shloka is often quoted, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. And so belief pending verification. Belief pending verification. That's the definition of Shraddha. Shraddha is not just belief. Belief pending verification. Because it is the Shastram is saying you are the whole. Shastram is not saying you will go to Vaikunta and meet Narayana. That is another way of interpreting. But there are statements which say you are the whole. I have to understand it before I go to heaven. Because Narayana will ask me. He will ask me, what happened to all these? You had great teachers in India, especially. What happened? Did you ever, that day I saw you, you went to listen to this Swamiji. What happened after that? What happened? Oh, you remember all that? Yeah, I remember everything. So, what will I say? So we have to at least be aware of these things, and therefore I am the whole. That vision is there. And so to go from here to there, Shraddha is needed. Shraddha is needed because we can't do an experiment. And then in a lab, you do an experiment, then you can prove that it works. And so now you can scale it up. It's not like that here. It's not like that here. I can show a lot of PowerPoints and still, if somebody asks a question, I did not get moksha after 2 years. Why? Suppose somebody asks, what response can a teacher give? What response? No. So that's why Shraddha is so important here. And so that benefit of doubt, giving the benefit of doubt to the teacher, to the Shastram, and allow the Shastram to unfold itself. Unfold is Swayam. The previous shloka we saw Swayam. So unfold itself, Swayam, you will see it. You will see it. And we've seen all our Swamis before us, all elders before us go through this process. Therefore, fearlessly, I will have Shraddha in this. And I know it will deliver the goods. Shastram will deliver the goods. And in America, there is a Swami. His name is Swami Tadatmananda. Some of you will have heard of him. And how many of you know of Swami Tadatmananda? Yeah. So and I also learned a lot from him. He was in the ashram, Arshavidya Gurukulam, when I used to study. And he gave a series of talks. And the talk title, he has titled it this way: Finding God Without Faith. Finding God Without Faith. Okay? And suddenly that thing comes to me now. Because there he tells the difference between faith and Shraddha. And finding God. Finding God means what? Here and now. Here and now, not after death. So very interesting. So that, and because he was in his Purvashrama, he was a white Caucasian male, and so he used to follow Swamiji very closely. He has written a book, beautiful book. You may want to purchase it. The book is called The Roar of the Ganges. The Roar of the Ganges. And very nice book, just like you've got autobiography of a yogi, so Agehananda, etc. So like that, this book, very beautiful book. So he talks about his journey, his life, and then periodically he weaves in messages of Vedanta, and he talks about how Swamiji teaches, how he unfolds and things like that. Very interesting book. So Krishna says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. That person who has Shraddha gains the knowledge. And then he adds a few more things. Tat paraha. And then samyatendriyaha. Two more things he adds. And then jnanam labha param shantin achirena adhigachati. You will see all that. And very interesting. So he is going to give, what are the three things he said? Shraddha, we must have. Then tatparatvam, we will see next class, a commitment, and then sanyatendriyaha, so mastery of oneself. And so we will see these things again in the next class. Yeah. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah prithvi sasya shalini desho yam kshobarahitah brahmana santu nirbhayah om sarve bhavantu sukhinah सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम।